Joining me now to discuss is the Senior Director of Communications for Defending Education, Erika Sanzi. Erika, thank you for being here. One of the first schools to decline this offer was MIT. Its president writing to the Education Secretary saying, quote, "The premise of the document is inconsistent with our core belief that scientific funding should be based on scientific merit alone." I'm curious from your perspective, how do you think the administration's offer influences the research and focuses coming out of the universities that accept this, or even those that don't accept it over the next few years?
It's interesting because on the one hand, it's nice to see the leaders at MIT finally coming around to this idea. It's important to note that many of the college presidents and others that are speaking out against this compact didn't really have a problem with federal overreach under previous administrations because they happen to align more with the ideology of those administrations. So in this case, while there is major hypocrisy here, I understand why they object. This is far too vague, for one. And I also think that if we just try to flip the script and we imagine that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were putting together a compact like this to tell universities that they wouldn't get federal dollars unless they complied, I suspect that Republicans and MAGA world would be livid. And so, again, I'm not surprised that they're objecting. In many ways, they're right to be objecting because, as often is the case, there are some admirable goals here, but the execution is not stellar.
Yeah, one of the policy changes in the memo calls for these schools to not consider sex and ethnicity in the admissions process. But these are factors that can influence the campus experience. I mean, you think of a campus, there's a lot of students who I imagine if they're in a co-ed campus, they don't want the student body to be entirely male or entirely female. How will schools be able to ensure diverse experiences without factoring at least some of these things in?
You know, this is actually an easier one because federal law prohibits that they factor these things in. They cannot factor in ethnicity, race, or national origin, and they cannot factor in sex because both are prohibited by federal law. So in this case, actually, the administration's on very solid legal footing, and this is where they're strong and should pursue these efforts. There are other ways to ensure diversity on a campus, for sure, that are outside of these protected classes. So certainly geographical diversity is one way. Socioeconomic or income level diversity is another way. But again, schools, it makes sense to want a diverse campus. I think most people would agree that that's a plus, but you cannot legally under federal law use race, ethnicity, or sex to make that happen. You have to find other ways to do it.
Yeah, you've said that the implementation is questionable and legally shaky, although it's a worthy cause. To that end, do you think it's possible that we could soon see some type of class action lawsuit where these universities team up to challenge, the Trump administration's memo here in court?
I mean, it seems to me that everybody challenges everything in court now. So I suspect that I don't know what kind of lawsuit it would be, but I almost think it's inevitable because, again, this is coming out of the executive branch, right? So to me, it seems like there are a lot of important questions here. You know, this compact does talk about grade inflation. It talks about political bias. It talks about tuition being too high and wanting to freeze that. It talks about reducing foreign enrollment. But those are questions that need to be wrestled with by the Congress. Not by directives coming out of the executive branch, especially when this administration has said that they want to reduce the federal role in education. I don't know how you can say that you want to reduce the federal role in education and then push these things. So what I would say to them is they're on such solid footing when it comes to Title VI and Title IX and, race-based and sex-based discrimination. They're doing a great job there. So I prefer they stay there and let other people wrestle with these important questions.
Well, we'll continue to follow how this plays out because it does affect a lot of people, a lot of students around the country. Senior Director of Communications for Defending Education, Erika Sanzi, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.